just be a good person, just don't take shit from anyone, and stay clean and fight filthy. I work as a geologic technician. I have my degree in geology, so I work for an oil company. And I have been fortunate enough that, you know, even despite the economic downswing and the crashing price of oil, we're still up and running, and I've been working from home. So I really haven't skipped a beat. You know, I'm still training full time, I'm still working full time. And then anytime I had like 5 minutes, I would be making masks. So, you know, there's all these people saying they're busy, they don't, or not, they're not busy, but they're bored and they don't know what to do, and they already went through all of Netflix. Like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm working myself to the bone. Sucks. I wish I had 5 minutes to myself. So I have a sewing machine. I like to keep myself busy, so I like to create stuff. I'm very artsy. And I had a sewing machine, and I saw that people were charging for masks, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not going to charge for people's safety. So I was like, I can do this. So I got some material together, and I threw together, like, my first ones were a couple, like, they were really rough, but I perfected it. I started cranking them out super fast. I made about 100 a day. I've made over 1,000. I've shipped them all across the US and then 2 in Canada, actually. So, yeah, I just put out a note and I said, hey, does anyone need these? And there were just people coming out of the woodwork. Like, yeah, I'll take 20, I'll take 5, I'll take 2, you know. People were super grateful because there's people charging $5 to $20 per mask. And I'm like, here, just take them. Like, I don't need them. I don't care. I don't need a profit off of it. Actually, the money that I fundraised for my Portland fight, I used for postage and materials. So, you know, all of the money that I would have used for my fight, I put it towards that, and I funded that. So I don't make millions. I'm not there. I can't donate my money, but I can donate my time. And so I just try to be a part of the solution. I just walked into a class. Yeah, I mean, there's no like deep dark secret. No, it didn't change my life. It didn't save me. Um, I took like an aerobic kickboxing class in college, and my buddy was like, "Hey, you can throw a punch. Let's see if you can take one." And I was like, "All right." 6 months after I started training for contact, like boxing, it was mostly American kickboxing. I'd never even taken a jiu-jitsu class. 6 months afterwards, I had my first fight against Marion Renault. That was a pro fight. And I didn't even know it was a pro fight. They locked it. I mean, that's a whole different story, but they locked the cage, and the ref was like, hey, by the way, it's a pro fight, so enjoy. Okay, cool. Now she's like top 5 in, this is Pi. She likes to crash in on interviews. Yeah, now Marion's top 5 in the Bantam division, and I'm like, oh, gosh. I fought her. I beat her. I didn't even see any of the purse or anything. We got fight of the night. So they're like, hey, by the way, make sure you pick up your bonus. And I was like, my bonus? I get paid for this? Yeah, I had no idea. I actually started my collegiate career at Notre Dame, at the University of Notre Dame in chemical engineering. But then I finished out my schooling at the University of California, Santa Cruz in California under geology. So I always wanted to work in the oil industry. I just needed to find my niche, and licking rocks was the way to go. No one's surprised. Um, People would be surprised if I didn't fight. I was voted, you know, for like senior awards or whatever. I was voted most athletic with one of my buddies who was a collegiate wrestler. Um, I mean, yeah, you ask anyone from high school, like people would be like, oh yeah, what is she doing now? Did she like find the cure for cancer or something? Like they wouldn't be shocked at finding out that I fight or finding out that I've done something or the other. I grew up with nothing. I'm first generation American, so my parents, they were both janitors when I was growing up. Like, we literally had nothing. And then I didn't have a great home life. So I really invested myself in school. Um, my mom teased me a lot because I was there before people opened up the school, and I was there after they closed it up, just because I didn't want to be home. So, I was in class president, and I was on the Associated Student Body all 4 years. I was in different clubs, anything that I could be in. In the summer, I went to university for schooling. So I was prom queen. I was a varsity captain for 3 sports. I was always busy. So just because that's the way that I could get a meal, or that's the way that I could get a shower. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I've always kind of been involved and kept busy just because it's how I survived. So I did volleyball, soccer, track and field, and I weightlifted with football, and I conditioned with cross country. My first love was weightlifting and just being strong in general. That helps with everything, but cutting back and forth in soccer and volleyball, that helps with my footwork. Being a thrower in track and field helps with my punch. Being able to utilize the movement and finding from the ground up that torque and creating that, like, I mean, everything is applicable. The endurance from cross country. I just, yeah, I try to pull something from everything, even from the stupid Zumba classes that I love, which they're not stupid, they're so much fun. But I used to teach that. And even from that, like, I have great footwork because I don't get tripped up. Like, I can drop it like it's hot. So it's just, you learn to take things and implement them that's to your benefit. So my fights are actually super fun to see the audience, because I have people of all walks of life. I am an avid yogi, so I have these beautiful little yogi instructors just cheering in the corner going, rip her head off. And I have all my people at like boot camps, like fit body boot camps, that are typically moms and stuff. And then I have these MMA fighters and weightlifters. And it's just, I think it's really cool that I bring together so many different types of people that you normally wouldn't see together. So, it's just, it's fun. It's cool. It's cool to start something that's so much bigger than myself. Then I was supposed to fight her at Portland, and that got canceled. And then it got rescheduled for the Apex in May, and everything was closed down. So fourth time's a charm, I guess. I mean, I've been prepping for her for a really long time, so I think it's a really good matchup, and I think on paper we're really, really well matched. So it's truly going to be who's the better fighter that night.